Now, for the next 4 days, the World Economic Forum annual meeting will be taking center stage in Davos, Switzerland. This year's meeting will convene under the theme Collaboration for the Intelligent Age, and the program will be oriented around 5 distinct but highly interconnected thematic priorities. The annual meeting 2025 convenes global leaders to address key global and regional challenges. These include responding to geopolitical shocks, stimulating growth to improve living standards, and stewarding a just and inclusive energy transition. Joining us now to share expectations for the next 4 days at the World Economic Forum annual meeting is Arise business correspondent Rotus Oddiri. Good morning to you, Rotus. Great to see you.
Good morning, Abby. Happy New Year. Good to see you.
Happy
yes,
New Year.
It's pretty cold out here, even though the sun is shining.
Yes, certainly
yes,
quite the way to begin.
It's pretty cold out here, even though the sun is shining.
Well, yeah, it's really quite the oxymoron, but yeah, let's get into it. Let's begin with the theme for WEF 2025 and the key areas of focus. What can you tell us about that for this year?
Yeah, look, as far as collaborating for the intelligent age, right, the 5 key themes are basically around the fact that technology is accelerating at a very rapid pace. So one of the themes is rebuilding growth. How do you rebuild to take advantage of this acceleration? I have an example right here. We're walking around and we notice that this tech adoption index is going to be launched here in Davos tomorrow. It's a collaboration between Tech Mahindra, which is a technology consulting firm, and the Wall Street Journal's intelligence unit, which also does consulting for tech firms. So they are coming up with this index in order to harness how business leaders in particular onboard new technology into their firms, their return on investment for their technology portfolios, and how they're positioning for the future. So this is a perfect example. So that's theme 1 on rebuilding. Theme 2 is, okay, we've decided that we're going to get together and we're going to figure out how we're going to rebuild to take advantage of advancing technology. Okay, so where are the industries? The second theme is to identify the particular industries that are key to this era of intelligence. For example, semiconductors, right? Fabricators, putting together these AI centers that will take advantage of that. 3 is your staff. How do you build or invest in people or reinvest in people to be able to harness this particular technology? So that's the 3rd theme. The 4th is the planet. We know how much energy artificial intelligence centers are going to be eating up. There's actually been talk of reopening nuclear facilities in Japan and other areas, even in the US, with respect to that, because of the amount of energy they're going to require. So how do you protect the planet when you're going to be eating up that much energy? And the 5th theme is to rebuild trust. We've seen what can happen with a lot of fake, AI fakes around the world, disinformation, and so on and so forth. So putting all together, those 5 themes make a lot of sense as far as I'm concerned. But then also with the geopolitical backdrops, U.S. President-elect Trump wants to sign, what are you saying, 50 plus executive orders? We'll see how that works with respect to, the background, the geopolitical background that's really tense. But those 5 themes coming together, that's what WEF is going to be looking at this week.
All right, Rotus, I'm sure you must be particularly excited about these themes as they're quite tech-focused as well. But let's look at how the recent IMF Global Economic Outlook ties into the areas of focus for Davos 2025. What should we know about this?
Yeah, I mean, we covered this on Friday when the IMF released its updated outlook for growth. And I think it was said, that the global economy is going to grow by 3.2% in 2024. They upgraded it to 3.3. Well, here's the thing, Abby. They said it was predicated mostly on the United States. The U.S., as we know, has been a beacon of health for the economic growth because of the strong labor market, technological innovation, also the strong U.S. dollar. But at the same time, Abby, you have the U.S., as strong as it is, threatening other nations with tariffs. And those tariffs are going to have an impact on the economic growth of those other countries. So it's a bit of a dichotomy there where you've got, the U.S. being the center of what they expect to be global growth, and then also the same U.S. impeding the growth of the rest of the world because of those tariffs. So just tying that into the geopolitical tensions, trade is going to be a major topic here at WEF. stuff. It's going to be very interesting to see how things unfold. I mean, look at TikTok, for example, with Trump saying, I don't know how he's going to do this, because the Supreme Court and Congress have both said that TikTok needs to divest or be banned. Apple, Google are going to be very circumspect about adding TikTok back onto their app stores because of the fear of fine. So all that uncertainty is part of what's going to be looked at this week.
Right, quite a lot going on there, and I absolutely agree with you. It's quite a double-edged sword there. And surely it's going to be very activity-packed, but what's the specific agenda for today?
Interestingly enough, one of the first forums they're going to have is on the inauguration in Washington, D.C., which, of course, Arise News is covering there with Adifemi Kinsley and the rest of our awesome team. So the editors of the Wall Street Journal, Time Magazine, and a couple other publications will be getting together to talk about the inauguration and also talk about what the potential impact of Trump is going to be on the rest of the world. There's also going to be the Crystal Awards. David Beckham, I think, is going to be honored there, and a number of other impactful individuals in different areas of the world. There's going to be a focus on disabilities. Inclusive growth is what the World Economic Forum wants to be talking about this week. So they will be focusing on people with disabilities and how to include them in this tech-driven global economy, that we're seeing take shape over the years. And then there are also going to be a concert, actually a music concert later on today. So this is just the introduction, essentially, to the week. Tomorrow, Klaus Straff, who of course is the founder of the board of directors for the World Economic Forum, he'll be delivering his opening remarks. So things really kick off tomorrow, but a lot to look forward to today as well.
I certainly so much to look forward to that. I'm sure that the individuals that you will also be looking forward to speaking with, I wish that I could get into that a bit more with you, but we've unfortunately run out of time. But Rotus, we certainly will be keeping our ears to the ground and looking out for your updates, and we'll chat to you again very soon.